Like some type of red fluid.
Scary TikToks that will make you rethink your reality with JetskiChucK.
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We got a hot one today. Let's get straight into it.
Scary TikToks that will make you rethink your reality with JetskiChucK.
Hello everyone, I'm back with more proof that we're living in the upside down. Shortly before the Iraq invasion in April of 2003, George Fassbinder, a German archaeologist in an area that used to be covered up by the Euphrates River, found the body of Gilgamesh and Enkidu along with the tomb. If you don't already know, it is claimed in the Epic of Gilgamesh that Gilgamesh is buried beneath the Euphrates River. Gilgamesh is claimed to be the fifth post-Diluvian ruler who built the great temples and cities, also restoring Uruk after the flood, which is now known as Iraq. Gilgamesh is alleged to be two-thirds god and one-third human. His mother was a goddess and his father was a human king of Uruk. Many of the structures found around the tomb were described in the Epic of Gilgamesh. His body is found with Enkidu, the demigod like Gilgamesh who was sent to kill him. The two battled and eventually struck up an unlikely friendship. The Bible refers to him as Nimrod. Nimrod was the first world dictator, and as many Bible scholars believe, he will be the last. Is the world ready to receive the Antichrist, a world ruler able to perform miracles? Is this the strong delusion? Don't be fooled, the enemy is coming for you whether you accept it or not. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel, which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates.
Bro, yeah. Y'all hear that? Bro. Bro, what y'all think, man? Is that a real looking mummy or was it fake? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get back into it.
Now I need y'all to listen to me very closely. In TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes. Now I need y'all to listen to me very closely. Now I need y'all to listen to me very closely. In TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. And I know y'all probably wondering, like, who is this person that's in the
YouTube, this is for entertainment purposes. Y'all make sure y'all do your own research and put on that armor and shield.
coffin behind me, right? This is Gilgamesh. Yeah, the Nephilim, yeah, Gilgamesh. They found this tomb back in 2003, and it's a conspiracy that his tomb being raided was the whole reason that they went to war in Iraq. It's a conspiracy, right? Let's check it out. Look how intact his body is after all these years. Just look. Real life Nephilim.
Is he asleep?
This is not a game.
Is bro about to wake up?
This was way back in 2003 when they found his body. Are y'all seeing this? Are y'all seeing this? How entertained are you guys? And about a year or two ago, it was a rumor, this is only rumor now, that they was trying to resurrect this nigga. I just find it kind of entertaining how now you can't find no type of information on that nowhere on the internet now. But a year or two ago, you could.
Guess who just found it? Current date is 11/10/2023. So sit tight, you don't want to miss this. This is rare. This is rare footage, y'all. What is that, a Movado? Bro had a Movado? What type of watch is that? Or is he just using it for reference? Oh, y'all can't see the whole thing, can y'all? Hey, hold on a sec, man. Y'all gotta see this. Y'all gotta see this. Hold on, I got y'all. Sit tight. Let me push the waters back like Moses. Y'all gotta see this. Hold on, I will wide it. I will wide it. This rare. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Hey, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button, man. Your boy JetskiChucK. This is rare. Y'all not gonna find this. Bro. That's the best. That's as best as it's gonna get, y'all. Damn, is this what they wanted? Put it in the comments, man. What was we really doing over there? Is this what they really wanted? What type of watch is that? I'm in the comments, they saying, you know, it's time travel. They all through there. They said he in stasis. Y'all think he in stasis? Man, we need to translate what's on that chess piece. I need some translators. I've seen mummies before in museums and they look just like that. We're gonna keep it rolling, y'all. Let me push the waters back.
Did the legend surrounding the great king of Uruk and many of the city's written attributes to mythology. Uruk is said to have become famous as the capital city of the king Gilgamesh, the ancient ruler and hero of the Epic of Gilgamesh. It is believed that Uruk was the biblical Erech from Genesis 10:10 the second city founded by Nimrod in Shinar. The Epic of Gilgamesh, written by a Middle Eastern scholar 2,500 years before the birth of Christ, commemorates the life of the ruler of the city of Uruk, from which Iraq gets its name. In 2003, just prior to the Iraq invasion which toppled Hussein, astonishing discoveries were being made in Iraq, culminating in one of the most extraordinary claims anywhere for centuries, a claim which American forces have been strongly accused of confiscating, subsequently becoming the prime suspect as the driving force behind a complete suppression of these astonishing discoveries within the country. In April of 2003, Jörg Fassbinder of the Bavarian Department of Historical Monuments in Munich told the BBC's World Services Science and Action program, quote, "I don't want to say definitively that it was the grave of King Gilgamesh, but it looks very similar to that described in the epic. We found just outside the city, an area in the middle of the former Euphrates River, the remains of such a building which could be interpreted as a burial," Mr. Fassbinder said. In the book, Gilgamesh is described as having been buried under the Euphrates. He said the amazing discovery of the ancient city under the Iraqi desert had been made possible by modern technology. The most surprising thing was that we found structures already described by Gilgamesh, Mr. Fassbinder stated. "We covered more than 100 hectares. We found garden structures and field structures as described in the epic, and we found Babylonian houses. Here, predictably, is where the story goes silent. Due to conflict within the country, it was largely believed the excavations had been halted. However, it seems that the discovery of King Gilgamesh may not have been made in isolation. This footage was supposedly leaked to numerous places across the internet and has largely been put down as authentic footage of the find. Shortly after this was taken, reports state that American forces moved in and seized the find. Why do the powers that be see fit to suppress such discoveries? The very real tombs of characters long thought to have been mythical.
Only.
Osiris being but one example among many, which have undoubtedly been hidden from the public. Maybe some clues to why his tomb has been hidden lay within the epic and the immense powers Gilgamesh was said to have possessed. He was the fifth king of Uruk, and his power was so mighty, many believe that the stories surrounding him are just myths that were built around his seemingly superhuman strength and endurance. However, serious scholars concluded that the story of Gilgamesh was nothing more than a fairy tale due to the astonishing
How can
story.
a mummy be that
In the
well
epic,
preserved?
the great king is thought to be too proud and arrogant by the gods, and so they decide to teach him a lesson, sending the wild man, Enkidu, to humble him. Enkidu and Gilgamesh, after a fierce battle in which neither are bested, become friends and embark on adventures together. When Enkidu is struck with death, Gilgamesh falls into a deep grief and, recognizing his own mortality through the death of his friend, questions the meaning of life and the value of human accomplishment in the face of ultimate extinction. Casting away all his old vanity and pride, Gilgamesh sets out on a quest to find the meaning of life and, finally, some way of defeating death. In doing so, he becomes the first epic hero in world literature. The grief of Gilgamesh and the questions his friend's death evoke resonate with every human being who has wrestled with the meaning of life in the face of death. Is this leaked footage of the tomb of Gilgamesh? Regardless of its authenticity, why all the secrecy? Are we, as a species, not capable of being presented with things which test our core beliefs without erupting into chaos? It seems for now we may have to wait to find out.
My whole thing is, how does it look that well preserved if it's a mummy? You know? If you look at it carefully, that thing looks like he's about to open his eyes low key. What y'all think, man? Let's get back into it.
Then you look at these legends like Noah's Ark or the Epic of Gilgamesh, and you hear about these stories of floods and of cataclysms. It's something that is the core part of almost every ancient civilization's lore. When they talk about the history of their culture, they talk about these cataclysmic events that reshaped the society and that people emerged from the darkness and restarted the world. How long has civilization been around, and how many times has it been reset? Then you
know, a lot of people talk about the Great Reset, or a reset happened, or maybe even ancient civilization was way more civilized than what it is now. I think Joe was on to something. This part of the video had to be silenced for entertainment purposes only. Again, this part of the video had to be silenced. Just a small portion of the clip had to be silenced for entertainment purposes only. And we are almost there. They wanted to know. This is for entertainment purposes only. They wanted to see about the resurrection chamber. Ooh, this getting hot. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's go.
Of the buried Nephilim.
We had the opportunity in 2003 to test one of the oldest stories, if not the oldest story, of human civilization, and it's the Epic of Gilgamesh. Now, Gilgamesh is a really interesting figure. The Sumerian and Babylonian narratives speak about rulership over...
I know. If you guys gotta get something to drink, you know, now's the time. Get your popcorn, you know, sit back. Tell your boys, man, JetskiChucK, he's going nuts. Yes, it's time. Now we're getting back into it.
Over human beings, or kingship, as having come down from the skies. It's those who've come down from the skies who govern over human society for a long, long time, aeons and aeons. And then there comes a point where they hand over to human kings, and they somewhat recede into the background. In that story, there's a crossover king, a hybrid person called Gilgamesh. He's part sky people, part human. In April 2003, over to kings or kingship as having come down from the skies. It's those who've come down from the skies who govern over human society for a long, long time, aeons and aeons. And then there comes a point where they hand over to human kings, and they somewhat recede into the background. In that story, there's a crossover king, a hybrid person called Gilgamesh. He's part sky people, part human. In April 2003, a German-led research team announced it had found King Gilgamesh's tomb. It was an incredible moment in the history of religion and archaeology. Not much more than a month after the first US invasion of Iraq under George H.W. Bush, a research team led by Jörg Fassbinder of the Bavarian Department of Historical Monuments in Munich announced the incredible discovery they had made. With scarcely contained excitement, Fassbinder spoke to the BBC and said, "The most surprising thing was that we found structures already described by the Epic of Gilgamesh. We covered more than 100 hectares. We have found garden structures and field structures just as described in the Epic. By differences in magnetization in the soil, you can look into the ground. The difference between mud bricks and sediments in the Euphrates River gives a very detailed structure. I don't want to say definitively that it was the grave of King Gilgamesh, but it looks very similar to that described in the Epic. We found, just outside the city, in the middle of the former Euphrates River, the remains of such a building as could be interpreted as a burial place." What an outstanding opportunity to test the relationship of those mythologies against scientific fact. We could DNA test the remains of that person in the tomb marked Gilgamesh. Potentially, it was one of the most significant archaeological finds in history. Once the find had been located and cordoned off, the First Iraq War ended within a matter of days.
Invasion which toppled Hussein, astonishing discoveries were being made in Iraq, culminating in one of the most extraordinary claims anywhere for centuries, a claim which American forces have been strongly accused of confiscating, subsequently becoming the prime suspect as the driving force behind the complete suppression of these astonishing discoveries within the country. In April of 2003, Jörg Fassbinder of the Bavarian Department of Historical Monuments in Munich told the BBC's World Services Science and Action Program, quote, "I don't want to say definitively that it was the grave of King Gilgamesh, but it looks very similar to that described in the Epic. We found just outside the city, an area in the middle of the former Euphrates River, the remains of such a building which could be interpreted as a burial," Mr. Fassbinder said. In the book, Gilgamesh is described as having been buried under the Euphrates. He said the amazing discovery of the ancient city under the Iraqi desert had been made possible by modern technology. The most surprising thing was that we found structures already described by Gilgamesh, Mr. Fassbinder stated. We covered more than 100 hectares. We found garden structures and field structures as described in the Epic, and we found Babylonian houses. Here, predictably, is where the story goes silent. Due to conflict within the country, it was largely believed the excavations had been halted. However, it seems that the discovery of King Gilgamesh may not have been made in isolation. This footage was supposedly leaked to numerous places across the internet and has largely been put down as authentic footage of the find. Shortly after this was taken, reports state that American forces moved in and seized the find.
Multiply on the face.
What y'all think, man? What y'all think BBC trying to tell us? Let me know in the comments below. What's good? We got to keep this thing rolling. So let's get back into it. Bro, Gilgamesh. You guys think that is? What's that red liquid? Who is that? You guys really think that's Gilgamesh? Let's get back into it. Yo, what is that? It looks like some type of ancient Bible with a scroll. Oh, what type of rock? Portals. That instrument. It looked like some type of instrument, man. Wonder what it is. Get back into it. Hey, on a side note, you know what this kind of feels like? When I was younger, I used to watch this show called Ripley's Believe It or Not. You know, and every time when I do these little videos, I'd be thinking like that. I'm like, man, that used to be my show, Ripley's Believe It or Not. Well, guess what, y'all? This is JetskiChucK, Believe It or Not. Let's get back into it. Sealed book of Kurdish king who founded the Sassanid Empire. They said it's sealed. They had some loud, crazy foreign music playing to this, so I just threw on the piano. It says it was a book that belonged to some king. Oh yeah, that's 3D. I can see it. Guys made it all the way to the end. Drop a 100 in the comments so I know you real. And I just want to say thank you so much, and I'll see y'all tomorrow on the next one. Hey, y'all be safe out here, man. And I hope y'all enjoy y'all Friday. Until then, have a good one. Peace.